Welcome to the Nerd Rundown. Coming up this week on the show, DC's Fishman is drowning and no one cares. The world's greatest spy could be getting the world's greatest director.
Ooh, nerd debate.
Finally, it's director roulette at the MCU for Secret Wars. Ready? Hit it!
What the hell is a rundown? There's the rundown you asked for.
Welcome to the Nerd Rundown, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. I'm Darren Stemple.
I'm Erik here.
And I'm Morgan Santo.
Got a good rundown for you guys today. First up on the rundown, Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom. It sounds and looks to be a mess. They released a teaser for a teaser trailer coming out later this week. I'm not even sure we'll react to it. May not even be worth it. It'd be more hassle than it's worth. Reports that Warner Brothers and DC have given up on the movie completely. Obviously, we have had no marketing, no trailers.
I forgot about it.
In this, what is it, like a 20-second teaser or something that they released today for the teaser?
Yeah,
30
the teaser for the teaser.
30-second trailer teaser. So you have a teaser to your trailer.
Yeah,
your teaser.
That they're not
I'm not
excited
sure
about. You know.
Yeah,
not a great plan.
We're trying.
Bad CGI throughout. I mean, this looks to be dumpster fire number, forever, and
right.
And it's a bit disappointing because this was the follow up to the DCEU's only $1 billion movie. Start with you, Erik. What do you think about this dumpster fire?
Don't care. Don't care. I mean, it's DOA. I guess they have to release it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the insurance company is going to pay them back for this thing. So, yeah, they've just got too much sunk into it. So they're just going to put it out and just see what happens. I mean, it's pretty bad. The teaser to the trailer looks terrible. The CGI looks terrible. I don't know if are they going to clean that up between now and December
if they haven't already
comes out, or
I think they thought they cleaned it up.
They're like, yeah, that was it,
right?
man.
Well, looks good to me.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the Indiana Jones movie yet, but I guess the CGI wasn't quite as bad. Like the head is at least where it's supposed to be. So I don't know. It looks bad, man. I really just have no interest in this whatsoever.
Yeah, no hype for it. I mean, I wasn't even a big fan of the first movie, the Aquaman 1 movie. Not a big Jason Momoa fan. Morg, do you think they'll have a floating head CGI effect in this movie?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I think I'll be shocked if they can even pull that off. I know, like Erik said, they just got to release it at this point just because. Why not? They're not hyping it up. I don't know if James Gunn's going to come out and do this is the best thing in DC I've seen.
He hasn't said a word about it.
And then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now.
I feel like
I know, like, I get it. He's got to do what he can, but I just think this is going to be horrible. Instead of Lost Kingdom, it should be called The Lost Prophets.
That was a good band back in the day.
I think the one thing about it is, I guess, if you don't put any marketing into it, you don't incur those costs. So
that's fair.
You're cutting costs on this thing, and so if it pulls in a couple $100 million, which it's going to, I mean, Flash pulled in, a couple $100 million pretty easy. So I imagine it'll probably pull in.
I'd say Flash really struggled to pull in 180
million. Yeah. But like I said, it'll probably pull in. So maybe you break even on it, but I doubt it. I doubt they'll even break even on it. They'll probably.
Yeah.
What do you call her, Morg? Amber Turd?
Amber Turd. That's right.
Amber Turd. And I think somebody found like a half a second screenshot of her in the trailer today. They're like, she looks great.
I like her.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on. Dumpster fires are fun, but what's really fun is thinking about the possibility of Christopher Nolan directing the next James Bond movies, as in plural. The word out of Hollywood right now, next on the rundown, is that Barbara Broccoli, the producer of the Bond franchise for a long time, the Broccoli family, I think, has been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
They're looking at Christopher
Her
Nolan.
father, yeah.
Yeah, with her father. They're looking at Nolan. Eric, you're the Nolan guy here.
He has hinted that is something that he would like to do. So this sounds like a match made in heaven, and getting a clean sheet reboot, if you will, of the franchise is pretty nice. You know, knowing that we don't have to fit him into a box that's already kind of out there with an entrenched 007 actor already there. So he can cast his own 007 and he can start the story wherever he feels it needs to be. And knowing that, the thing about this that makes me the most excited is that he's a James Bond fan. So he's going to stay true to the James Bond, Ian Fleming types. Yep. And he's going to set it up so that he can hand the keys to whoever comes after him and set them up for success too. The fact that we may get 2 from him is brilliant. Like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Each of the James Bond movies, at the end of it, it'll say something like, James Bond will return. So, but if you get some sort of a cliffhanger, like a part 2 type,
will James Bond return?
Mission Impossible.
Will he return?
Yeah, right. This is the best news. I did read some cool stuff that came out of D23 from the parks and stuff like that.
Genetically engineered theme park monsters, nothing more and nothing less.
Morgan, what do you think about Nolan? He's done it before with Batman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the guy. I think he's pretty cool.
Cool? Cool.
So cool.
I like his work. He does some
style.
Cute little indie films. I like, he's done a thing here or there. But I don't think this is going to happen.
Why would you say that?
The only reason is exactly the reason Eric is excited is Christopher Nolan is a real James Bond fan, and he would do it right and true. And I think they would want too much studio interference compared to what Nolan would like. I don't think he's not the type of guy to be like, okay, the studio wants me to do this and this and this, I'll do it. Like, I think he would fight him, and I think they would recognize that and go, we need somebody a little more controllable for our new Bond.
I get that. And you know what's funny you say that is part of the report is that what the holdup on the deal is Nolan is fighting for full control.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yep.
So I'm hoping, if he signs on the line, that's the last.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, yes, I want him to do it. I want them to.
And why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you do that? That makes no sense.
Printing money if you do it.
Yeah, the guy's a money printing. Like, I saw the other day, Christopher McQuarrie said that the number one movie in the country,
recent Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, the couple of Mission Impossible movies. Where he said that Christopher Nolan took an R-rated biopic movie with nudity and made it the number one movie in the country. And it's like, okay,
right. Yeah, it was. He's magical.
I don't think that
and it was a bit tough. Still don't really understand that movie. I watched it once and I was like, I don't know what I just.
I've watched it 3 times and I love it. It's great.
Eric is on a different intelligence level.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's not true.
That's fair. When he watches TV, it's like the Matrix to him. He just sees the lines.
It drives Stacy crazy. She hates it. Like halfway through a movie, I'll be like, and she'll be like, "You figured it out, haven't you?" And I'm like, "Well, He's
the one.
I feel like I'm the same way, but I'm nowhere near your level. You're at the top.
Hey, look, I'm king of the world!
Speaking of Batman, there's a report coming out of Matt Reeves' sequel to The Batman Part 2, aptly named, that Dick Grayson...
He said Dick.
Or Dick Robin Grayson.
Whoa, he definitely said Dick that time.
Is expected to make an appearance in not just cameo form. He's actually going to be joining the Caped Crusader in the sequel. I'll start with you, Morgan, on this one. Good idea to introduce... He's 13 years old in this. That's the report. It's going to be a young Robin. I'll use air quotes on that because it states it could either just be Dick Grayson and he may not become Robin. What do you think? Too soon?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely too soon unless they're gonna time hop in the next movie. I don't see them doing that unless the Penguin show's supposed to cover a lot of ground from the way it ended to however the Penguin show will end, from the way the Batman ended to the way the Penguin show will end. But I mean, this Batman's still too new. Like, it just seems weird for him to already go out and get an orphan.
Basically,
it's too soon. He's not emotionally ready. He's not right. He's not there yet.
Yeah.
Not that he's ever emotionally ready to raise a child, but he's not there yet.
Obviously. I mean, who is really?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
got two of them.
You just got to throw yourself in, you know. Maybe he's like Michael Scott when he's just like, I'm going to adopt a baby.
I'm signing up with an online dating service. Thousands of people have done it, and I am going to do it. I need a username. Little Kid Lover. That way people will know exactly where my priorities are at.
Yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to want one then. Yeah, no, too soon. Too soon. But I'd have to see. Now, unless it's just like we're just meeting Dick Grayson, the 13-year-old, and he's not Robin or anything. All right, I can see that. Let's get an introduction.
Yeah.
Going and start that process.
Okay.
That would be fine.
Eric, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I like it, actually. I think it's cool. You know, Pattinson is in his mid to late 30s. I think he's like 36, 37, somewhere around in there. So by the time they get this filmed, it'll probably be another year before they film it. So he's close to 40. And this kid's supposed to be 14. So that's not like they're super close in age or whatever. And so I don't know. I feel like it's the right time because he still needs to grow up a little bit, but you can introduce him and then he still, you know, kind of grows up. And as it is, you know, this is an Elseworld tale that they're telling. So it's not going to be in the DC EU stuff, the DCU stuff that they've got kind of coming up with, like the Brave and the Bold. That's going to be a completely different set of characters. So I like it. I think it's an opportunity to see a character that we haven't seen in a long time. I would like to have a moment of silence for the Joseph Gordon-Levitt that we never got as Robin. So just real quick.
My name's Robin.
You should go with that name. I like that name better.
Yeah, I like that.
Robin.
You should use your full name. I like that name. Robin.
Thanks. You were talking about Nolan. Come on, buddy. I will say, you know, Robin. There's Dick Grayson. There's Red Hood. Jason Todd. Thank you. And Damian Drake.
He goes by. Yeah.
Or is it Blake?
Or is it Draco?
It's either. So you can have, you know, I mean, Dick Grayson's only been on the big screen, well, 2 times, but by one character, Chris O'Donnell.
Holy rusted metal, Batman!
You're saying we've had enough Dick on screen. Time to move on.
My position is I trust Matt Reeves to do it right if he's doing it.
Yeah,
fair.
But yeah, it's a little frustrating when we're going to get a new Robin in the DCU and this one.
I'm okay with, I'm honestly okay with it because I do like the Batman was really good and I really enjoyed it. And I'm excited for another tale in this. And I don't think James Gunn has said that that's it for them. Like they get one more movie and then that's it. It just will be
I think there's
another
going to be a
DC
trilogy at least.
You think it'll be a trilogy?
Yeah. So we may get a couple more movies out of this, not Batman 2, Batman 2, Batman 3 that are separate from this, and then you'll have this other whole Batman that you can watch, which I think is actually pretty neat.
I think I would like. So. I think it would be nice if they could carry over that Robin into something like set him up to be a connection, you know, to help because you know even if he's not the main Robin in the movie or something, just he just exists, you know, we know of him,
right? Maybe he gets to be Nightwing, you know, in a later time period or whatever. So
I can say this, that if Bruce Wayne's not emotionally ready to be a parent, I'm definitely not emotionally ready to be a parent because we watched Elemental this weekend for family movie night and I was a crying mess. The next on the rundown, Elemental has had quite the journey already. It was labeled a box office flop after its first weekend. Granted, lots came out at that time. I think it was up against Indy.
Indiana and Flash.
And
it came out at the same time as Flash. So not that anybody went to go see Flash, but
I
don't think anybody went to the movies that weekend. It just seems like that was
considered to be box office flops after the first week. And when they probably, you know, if one of them came out in, you know, by itself, they probably would have not been considered a box office flop. Anyway, Elemental grew great legs. huge legs, and is now considered such a success that they're they're starting to develop a movie sequel and then a possible Disney Plus show. So we have all watched Elemental now, right? Correct?
Yes.
Eric, probably the most recent. So I'm going to start with Morgan on this. I know you watched it pretty recent, but not as recent. Eric, I'll start with you.
It's a great movie. I was pleasantly surprised. I think a big problem is a lot of people are losing faith in Disney as of recent, and they don't want to risk spending possibly $100, maybe more, to take them to something that just could be another failure from them, another Strange Worlds that, everybody didn't like, or not, you name it, it was a flop. So I think parents were starting to get concerned and didn't want to waste the money. And they're like, well, we'll wait till it's free, or wait till I could rent it at home and spend $20 instead. And, and that's what they did, and went, oh crap, this is actually a great movie we got a love story and a great father-daughter relationship story. Like, it was fantastic. And they just spread the word. And I mean, I know I watched it and I said, I was like, yeah, Elemental's great. I was impressed. I really liked it.
The trailer I thought looked good, and I think all of us thought the trailer looked pretty good. But then when the first box office stuff hit, it was
even the reviews weren't the strongest. I felt like
yeah. But I thought it was terrific. I did. I thought it was really, really good. The classic rich boy girl from the other side of the tracks type story. I mean, it's great. It was neat. I really did enjoy it. So
it was funny. I mean,
the animation was
really
fun.
The fire looked so living fire. It was so cool.
I mean, it's a very, very predictable story.
Yeah,
but
I don't know, man.
I don't mind that. I liked it.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with sticking with tried and true. And I was super emotional towards the end of it. I mean, you don't have a daughter, Morgan.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can connect with it quite as
get
much
out of here, boy. Get out of my house. You're working.
Guys with daughters have, but it's like, hey, man, if that water inspector comes by again, I'm, taking him down. So,
but I get how the dad's dad felt, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it like you said, Morgan, in our text group, I had to pull it up because when I read it, I was like, that's as simple as you can put it, but so perfectly. There's a classic story about love between two people and a child/paternal story as well. And so, that's the simpleness of the story, but it was still so imaginative.
Yeah.
And creative and very, very smart how they interwove in certain political elements that weren't necessarily needed, but didn't hurt the story. I love that movie. I'll just say that.
Yeah. It was really good.
The kids loved it.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Kids love it too.
There was really some great element humor in there. I'm like,
the kid that had a crush on her.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Just cracked me up where he grows the flowers. I just thought that was
the little tree kid.
Hey,
yeah, the little tree.
How
kid.
you doing? It's like the little Joey.
And I smell good. Ow, my queen.
Okay, so last on the rundown, we have, I labeled this, directors, start your engines, because it sounds like it's going to be a race towards the Marvel Studios, Secret Wars, Avengers, 5 or whatever it might be at that point. The role for the director job is open. There's some favorites, but it is a race. Just in the last week, we've heard Sam Raimi, Alfonso Cuarón, and Sean Levy, the director of Deadpool 3, which now sounds like it's got a really cool tie-in to the Secret Wars movie. And you know what, Morgan? You were, the last time you were on, you had a really good point about Secret Wars. And it really was, what the hell is Secret Wars? Like, we don't know anything about it. Well, we might have our first hint, because now it looks like Deadpool 3 is setting up Secret Wars by the TVA getting involved and choosing heroes from dying worlds to prevent some catastrophe that probably is going to happen in King Dynasty. Morgan, I know you're excited for Deadpool 3, right? And Secret Wars sounds like, we might start getting some news about it. What do you think about these directors as possibles?
So what did Alfonso
Cuarón is known for movies like Gravity, Children of Men.
Arguably the best Harry Potter movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban, number 3.
Okay.
In Azkaban!
Yeah, I don't know. So to me, director news for Marvel movies don't matter much because the studio is going to be involved a lot. We saw it with, I'm pretty sure, Multiverse of Madness. Sam Raimi, I think, definitely wanted to do some different things, and you can see it with the way the tone of the movie seems to like. And so I don't know. I don't get hyped for this now. I hope Deadpool does start doing something with the Secret Wars. We need to get more of that out there. But I'm also afraid that then Marvel's going to do something else, some other show or whatever it may be that has to tie into that. And then, I'm kind of getting a little overloaded here.
There's just too much going on here.
There is one thing I hope happens, and it's something I hoped would happen.
Okay.
And there's been more rumors going around that it's happening, that Daniel Radcliffe could be Wolverine at some point. And I'd love to see it.
Like the
I would love
future
to see
Wolverine,
it.
or just like a
I would hope
a variant of Wolverine.
I think he would probably be like a variant for the movie,
like
or
a
whatever.
John Krasinski type.
Yeah, like
cameo.
that. But I'd love to see him be it moving forward, because I think he'd be a good Wolverine. I don't know if you've seen some of that recent footage of him going around for Miracle Workers. He's like running around in his underwear and he's just like raging and screaming, and he is just like,
I've not seen that.
I mean, he looks like Hugh Jackman, just like 2 feet shorter. In these pictures.
Well,
It's
we've
crazy.
always wanted our shorter Wolverine.
He'd be a good short Wolverine. Good short Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, Sean Levy is kind of an interesting career too as a director, because he started doing some stuff like Night at the Museum and Cheaper by the Dozen. He did Date Night, Real Steel. He did Stranger Things, but now he's tapped to do Deadpool 3. It's his first big action movie. Very good track record for the most part. Eric, what do you think about Sean Levy and the rest of the candidates?
I wasn't a fan of Raimi's Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
But
sure.
I shouldn't say I wasn't a fan. It just was kind of a mess. It was a bit of a mess. It was the best movie of the year.
It's the best movie of the year.
I'm a little torn on Alfonso Cuarón, because I tend to agree with Morg on that. I don't think the directors, at least up to this point, the directors haven't really been that much. I think with like the Russo brothers, they had a lot of say in how that stuff went, but studio still, calls the shots and all that.
Puts them in a box still.
Yeah. And so with Alfonso, his films are gorgeous. They just are shot so beautifully. And so I don't know if he's the right guy for that. So, whereas with Levy, I think he's got enough experience to direct it well, but probably would be okay with the studio meddling, in things the way they meddle with things. But at the end of the day, I'd really like to see them not. And I'd really like to just let these guys do their job and kind of make it. I guess Levy is my guy out of those three. Not because I don't like Raimi and I don't like Cuarón, just feel like their talents are not suited for that particular. I'll tell you in a heartbeat, if Cuarón makes a superhero movie, I'm all in. I'll go watch that. I don't even know what it is, whatever, whatever it is, I'll go watch that.
Levy, I think, is the obvious choice out of the list.
Yeah.
He's been on a roll lately. He's got Ryan Reynolds, good relationship with him. He did the Adam Project. Remember that last year?
Yeah.
On Netflix, I believe.
I enjoyed that.
That was actually really good. Yeah, it was Netflix.
Was that, or maybe that was even this year? But that was great. I loved that.
Oh, wait, do we get a lot of girls in college?
Every conceptual idea you have about the universe has just been thrown out the window. Yet your big question is, do I get laid?
Do I?
That's it for the rundown this week. We took a week off, using air quotes again there. There's not a lot of news these days, but let's hear a word about our sponsor, Combat the Chaos. Hey, nerds. We love to support our veterans and our first responders here at the Nerd Rundown. That's why we've partnered with Combat the Chaos, a veteran-owned clothing company that donates portions of their profits to organizations that are focused on mental health and suicide prevention, specifically for these brave heroes. Being a veteran myself, and one who's needed help in these areas before, it was important we found a partner we believed in. Veterans are at a 57% higher risk of suicide than those who have not served. When it comes to first responders like the police, firefighters, and EMTs, they have a 10% higher chance than the general population of developing mental health issues like depression and PTSD. If you want to show your support, then visit combatthechaos.com, use our code NRD for 15% off, and select from a variety of amazing hats, shirts, sweaters, and more. We thank you for your help in fighting this battle that first responders and veterans so desperately need. Now, back to the show. All right. Thank you for tuning in. If you're here on YouTube, then hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our shows. You can find us anywhere you consume your podcasts. You can also follow us on our social media like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all at the Nerd Rundown. And with that being said, we'll see you on the Nerd Rundown.
Yeah, bye.
Deuces. You know what?